What's going on, guys? It's your boy Coach Taz coming to you with another marketing video. And in today's video, I actually want to provide to you 5 budget-friendly marketing strategies that you could implement today if you wanted to really help you out with that next game release or even promoting your own indie studio. So without further ado, let's get into it. Now, the very first strategy that I want to share with you all today is the importance of building out your first press list. Now, building a press list is sort of a no-brainer. You've probably heard it from other game marketers in the industry, but I'm actually going to tell you my how-to on how I actually built my very first press list because I didn't know anybody starting out. I had no connections in the industry. I was a just green as grass newbie that nobody would communicate with. So I had to go out and build up and network and build up all these organic conversations by myself to eventually build up the network that I have now. So 2 platforms that have been very beneficial in help building out my very first press list a couple years ago was Apollo and ChatGPT. Now, ChatGPT, most of you guys already know that, but if you, similar to Apollo, if you just tell the text prompt, give me 25, 50, maybe it might be able to pull out 100 streamers' names, content creators' names within a particular industry, but you can tell ChatGPT specifics like, I'm looking for the top Twitch streamers of 2024. And you just play around with it until it builds you a curated list of 25, 50, 75, 100 different people. And nowadays with social media, everybody has their contact information out there. You just go one by one and start messaging all of them on social media, or you email them or whatever. But basically, ChatGPT is a helpful resource, but if you want to take it one step further and get in contact with actual businesses and get their contact info, that's where you would go with Apollo. Apollo is just a free sales engagement platform that you can download to your home computer, and you don't have to purchase the upgraded version. I never have, but basically it's just the software that you put in a whole bunch of key metrics of people or companies that you're searching for based on income, location, industry. So specifically, this would be about gaming or journalism or whatever. And it would literally give you a list of all the business owners of these companies, their email addresses, phone numbers, and hey, this is where cold calling or cold emailing comes into play. I know it gets a lot of you uncomfortable, but I'm telling you, the crap works. So if you just have a little confidence in yourself, you build out this press list utilizing Apollo and ChatGPT, you're going to be so much better off for it. And also, just as a helpful tip, a lot of people forget, depending on the genre of game or the games that you like to build, make sure you get into contact and you network with other gaming developers or even game publishers that really target or create this type of content. Like if you love horror games and developing horror games or thriller games, suspense games, make sure you reach out to different individuals in the gaming industry. The creator of Choo Choo Charles, we just saw him on the Game Awards or the Future Game Showcase, whatever I have playing in the back, but he's prepared to launch his next game. So make sure you get into contact with these people that are building out similar titles as you within the same genre, and you'd be amazed that you reach out to these smaller indie developer teams and just the power of networking, guys. A lot of people are open to helping other game developers in the industry, especially if they've been one of the ones that have gotten ahead and made it a full-time income. They're more than happy to share their secrets and some tips and tricks to the younger game developers out there. So don't be afraid to just get uncomfortable and start conversations and get into contact with people that have built games similar to the games that you're creating today. The second budget-friendly strategy that I want to share with you is not overlooking the importance of not just social media, but a very particular platform I want all of you guys to get serious about today, and that's joining LinkedIn. LinkedIn is a very underdeveloped platform. Like, granted, it's not a perfect platform. There's a whole lot of issues with it. Microsoft is catching a lot of heat. But the one thing that I've learned from being an active member in LinkedIn is the gaming industry has moved swiftly over to LinkedIn. Indie studios, AAA studios, AA studios. But the power of LinkedIn is no joke. I've seen developers that literally 1 or 2 man teams that are struggling financially, they launched their game with all this preparation. They've been sharing behind the scenes videos. They've been sharing their vlogs and their devlogs to their community on LinkedIn. And the gaming community, even ones of AAA studios, the recruiters of companies, the HR individuals within gaming companies, the QA testers within these companies. They see this and they follow each other. And then when the game launches, they ended up purchasing it just to help one another out. There are two major platforms that I've devoted myself to over the last year, and that's LinkedIn and YouTube. And the power within both those platforms are no joke. But get plugged into YouTube today. Share your development journey. Don't just spam people with information about your game because you want to ultimately sell it, but tell people about you. Who are you? What's your dreams, goals, inspirations? Why do you want to be a game developer? People love it. And a lot of indie studios, from, like I said, indie, AA, AAA, they're all present on LinkedIn, and you have instant access to go around the crowd of people that are just flooding their Instagrams, their Twitters, their Facebooks, and all that. And you can bypass all of that and get instantly to the recruiters, the HR directors, the marketers, and everything like that by just joining LinkedIn. Now, to piggyback off of tip number 2 into tip number 3, it's actually an expansion of it, whereas don't be afraid to ask people on your social media platforms for help on bug testing the game or beta testing. You'd be surprised by just how many people are willing to help one another. If you're in the very early stages of game development and you just go to LinkedIn, a platform like LinkedIn, which has tons of game developers and senior game designers there, and you just say, hey, to my network, hey, point of view, I'm thinking about utilizing this UI. I'm thinking about doing this to my character. Look at this concept art. What do you think? Can you test this out? And I've seen, once again, tons of people go and help one another and be willing to test it. The big takeaway of it is make sure you collaborate with other people. You ask for help, because there's a lot of QA testers that are actually on LinkedIn that are looking to gather experience within the gaming industry. And you can ask for internships. You can just ask for free help. You can set up some sort of bartering system with one another. But guys, the help is there online. You just have to make the effort and go and get it. Now, tip number 4 is one that has been beat to death by other marketers, and it's optimizing your Steam page. Now, Steam is becoming a super powerful platform because it's always shifting, very similar to social media. Now, if there's anything that you're going to spend your money on, please get a good cover graphic onto your Steam page, because you only have one chance to leave a very good first impression with potential gamers. So please make sure you have a handcrafted, illustrated, just beautifully detailed cover art that showcases the game, clearly showcases the genre, showcases potentially the main protagonist or antagonist, because it is really going to help that gamer determine whether that game is right for them or not. Some other practices that you can implement is looking at the key tags. Once again, this is something that other people have gone into, but just as a helpful reminder, make sure you look at it's not really competition, but look at similar games that you're trying to mirror or that you get inspiration by that have been successful. Go to their Steam pages, look at their key tags, and then use those for yours. Like, that's sort of like a no-brainer that a lot of people forget about. But Steam really favors freaking crafting games, survival games, open world games, games that are just open-ended, that are really repetitive, that you can just play over and over and over again, that have that replayability. If you can create one of those games, granted it's a huge time investment, I mean, Steam is definitely going to favor you over everyone else. But that's not to say that you can't be successful. These are just things that I've learned along the way, so I want to share them all with you. But some other helpful practices that a lot of people forget about is they just end up building out their Steam page and then they leave it. They don't provide any call to action. They don't include a link to their Discord, their email subscription list. They don't show any value to gamers and why they should join their own community group so you can keep increasing those marketing touch points that we've talked about. Guys, remember, you only have potentially one chance to leave a very good impression. So you have to wow the gamer. And if you think you're working with very limited content, all signs are sort of showing right now that it's best to hold off on building out your Steam page, because Steam is, from talking with other developers, Steam is really doing this weird thing where if you create a Steam page and it's dormant for a little while, then when the developer comes back and starts adding content, it just doesn't get that organic reach that it used to, as opposed to you launching the Steam page, shoving a whole bunch of useful content of it, and there's a spike to your Steam page, and then Steam really starts prioritizing it. All in all, the best things that you can do, make sure you get that handcrafted, illustrated, beautiful cover image that showcases the game genre. Make sure you're including all your call to actions. Where can people stay in touch with you? Include updates periodically, weekly, bi-weekly. Just give people a reason to come back to your Steam page. You never want them to go to your Steam page and then just leave forever. So remember, make sure you bring that wow factor. Make sure you put everything you can into that Steam page, and make sure you try to get them involved into your own private ecosystem so you can increase those marketing touch points. Now, the fifth and final tip that I'll provide all of you today is one that we've repeated it before, but once again, just as a friendly reminder, you have to build up your own personal brand. Make sure you take social media seriously. Make sure you take YouTube seriously. I know we just talked about LinkedIn, but now this is the part in the video where I'm going to sound like a broken record. I'm going to say, if you haven't created your very first YouTube video yet for your indie studio, what are you freaking waiting for? There's people that I've talked to literally this week, gamers, not anybody that's in development, but actual physical gamers that have talked to me, and they've been like, man, I really wish my favorite studio X, Y, and Z, I wish they had their own YouTube channel. I wish they showed the development of this game. I wish I would have saw the development journey of this and the behind the scenes footage. Like, I have real conversations with gamers about this stuff. So people want to see, especially if you blow up in the near future and you get super popular, people want to see your beginning story. Where did you come from? You started from the bottom and now you're here. So make sure you document your journey. There's nothing to be scared of. Yes, you'll get a couple trolls in the comments, but just delete them, just ignore them. They'll help boost your algorithm. They'll help boost you in the YouTube feed. So don't take it personally. Just remember, there's some crazy people out in the world. Just ignore them. Give them no time or attention, but build out your YouTube video. Start building out your personal brand. And if you guys need help with that, be sure drop a comment. I'm here to help you. This is why I created this YouTube channel. You don't have to be afraid to ask for help from me, from people on LinkedIn, to debug your game and help provide you some tips or tricks like this. People love helping, especially with the chaos going on in this world today. So I hope this was helpful for you. And just remember, it doesn't cost a lot of money to build out a very effective marketing strategy. You just have to be consistent with your time. Make sure you implement the right time blocks. Make sure you devote a certain amount of hours every single week to implementing these practices. And I promise you, time over time, your first game, your second game, your third game, they might not be the mega hits that you plan for them to be, but over time, if you're just consistent with your branding, your Steam pages, and all these things that we discussed about today, and you focus on getting better little by little every single day, every single game launch, I promise you, eventually you will get there. But patience and delayed gratification is the trick, and that is one trick a lot of people just cannot take on. They just cannot handle it. They want that instant gratification, but I'm here to tell you, if you sacrifice that instant gratification and you just focus on implementing these boring practices, these non-flashy practices, I promise you, you will hit the final destination that you really want to get to. But this is your boy, Coach Taz. If you guys have any ideas, any questions about marketing, game, UI, UX videos, let me know by dropping a comment. Be sure to like, comment, subscribe for the algorithm so we can get out to more people and grow this channel and provide more value to more studios out there. But as always, God bless you all. I hope you have an amazing week. Peace.